Hello, this is Noelia Amoedo, CEO of Mediasmart, part of the Affle group. And here I am at the end of one more year, surrounded by a bunch of COVID cases. So for a second there, it felt like my glasses were the only thing that changed with respect to last year. But no, a whole year has flown by, and what happened this year is shaping the trends for AdTech in the new year to come. So let's take 5 minutes to go through the top 5 trends that come to my mind for AdTech in 2022. For one thing, the pandemic has affected out-of-home advertising very much. It is not as interesting for advertisers to invest outside when people are staying at home and spending time on their digital devices. This decrease in demand for out-of-home advertising has, though, interestingly forced the digitalization of the industry. So screen owners have taken this time to digitalize, and a lot more of the inventory available out there, in anything from billboards to screens in elevators, is now available for auction in the programmatic ecosystem. And that makes digital out-of-home an even stronger trend this year in my mind. The second trend I would mention is connected TV. With more and more OTT content being created and demanded, connected TV is clearly unstoppable. And it's no surprise that connected TV advertising has been so successful in 2021, and I'd expect it to continue in 2022, not only because of the increase of available inventory or the fact that you actually need connected TV to reach a certain percentage of the population, the cord cutters, which are more and more, but also because advertising on connected TV is so much more effective than advertising on traditional TV and in other digital media, especially when used in sync with mobile. That is why 80% of advertisers want to increase their investment on connected TV in 2022 versus what they did last year. Third, I need to mention audio. As the popularity of online music, streaming, and podcast grows, I think it is highly likely that we will see a scale up in the use of programmatic audio for advertising. Audio has been late to the programmatic party for sure, and it isn't as mature as the display sector, but I think it will make up for lost time. During the pandemic, people searched a lot for fresh and new forms of entertainment, and demand has increased, and advertisers always follow demand. Whether that will happen in 2022, 2023, and what's the year where programmatic audio comes out of age, still to be seen, but it's a clear trend in my mind. So far, I have mentioned multiple advertising channels that were traditionally analog but are in the process of being completely digitalized. And this brings me to the fourth trend, which is the importance of platforms that bring them all together for brands. As consumers interact with advertising in more and more digital channels, having all of them interconnected in one unique platform becomes critical for advertisers. Because by working with platforms that can provide this omni-channel support for data-driven advertising, often bringing together the online and offline worlds, brands can develop an advertising strategy where ads can always be relevant and in sync across all of the different channels that consumers interact with along their journey. Last but not least, ad personalization will be possible only when executed hand in hand with consent-driven models. This is a trend that we had already highlighted last year, and that will continue. driven by privacy regulations continuing to come up in more and more countries, and the strategies of Google and Apple. And other ways of providing relevance for advertising will gain more importance in this more private world that we live in. For example, contextual advertising. I see sort of a shift from an area of hyper-personalization that we used to live in to one of hyper-relevance. And with that, I conclude the 5 trends I wanted to cover. Thank you very much for listening.